Cool.
Thanks so much for joining. Yeah, especially with being under the weather, there's definitely stuff going around. Been
Yeah,
hearing all about
unfortunately.
that. Yeah. Aloha, Representative Matayoshi. Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah, no, happy to be here. I can only be here for about 20 minutes though, and then I gotta run.
Hey, we'll be sure to send out the link to the recording too. Mahalo for being here.
Yep. Let me make you a co-host, Gene. Sorry. Okay. Hey, Ron.
They were on.
Hello. How was last week's brown bag attended?
Really well.
Good.
It was a good one.
Just under 40, I think.
Yeah, let's wait a couple minutes.
Thank you, Eugene, for putting the survey link in the chat box.
Aloha, Brenda.
Aloha, Brenda.
Aloha. Hi, everybody. Yeah.
Maybe we can get going. What do you guys think?
Yep. I think we
Sure. Sounds good. All right. Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the second installment of our special edition HAC Brown Bag featuring Dick Jones, who'll be speaking on behalf of HAAA about a new survey they came out with. Take it away, Dick.
mahalo Kai, and thank you, everyone. So, as Kai said, my name is Dick Jones. I am the executive director of the Hawaii Aquaculture and Aquaponics Association. HAAA is the collective voice of the industry that has really deep roots in our islands and enormous potential for our future. And as the only statewide trade association dedicated to the aquaculture sector, HAAA brings producers, researchers, educators, investors, community partners together in a way no single farm or agency can do alone. And in Hawaii, where geography, permitting, culture, and markets intersect in uniquely complex ways, a strong, trusted industry association is not just helpful, but it is essential. HAAA provides the coordination, advocacy, and connective tissue that turns individual efforts into a united movement, elevating local expertise, strengthening policy, improving biosecurity, and workforce pathways. We've been around for about 50 years now. Um, our and we really focused in the last year in my role on ensuring that we are clear in what HAAA is all about. So we have three strategic initiatives moving forward. The first is really defining and articulating that strategic direction. So this year, as part of our work plan, we have a 3-year strategic planning that is underway. The results of this survey will feed into and be a major foundational cornerstone of our strategic plan. And we'll be looking to take what we learn from industry forward, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward in the webinar. The second is creating the systems for that communication. So we launched a social media platform. We have an Instagram page now. And the third is being more visible. Before COVID, HAAA did a wonderful job at getting out there, holding convenings, and unfortunately, we have not been able to do that. But our commitment to the community is to get back to that. And so that's part of our organizational direction. The second priority that we have for 2026 is financial stability. So we can't move forward as a representative of the industry without funding. And we don't want that funding to solely come from industry. We've really relied on industry in the past. We hope to build a model where no more than 15% of our annual budget comes from industry, but that's going to take time. So we're working on developing the tools to make sure that we are able to have that fundraising and financial stability, including defining a membership model that is more clear for the community and developing relationships with philanthropic entities and government in order to secure grants, essentially to grow our community. The third strategic initiative is around programs and partnerships. So as I shared, convening industry gatherings and roundtables. We'll be talking later in the webinar about some events that are coming up in the near term. We want to launch more visible initiatives showcasing the industry and making sure that people know we're here. And as that last bullet point states, we want to come forward with one voice and show ourselves as one industry. I think one of the challenging things that I've seen within the Hawaii aquaculture sector, and I've heard this from folks, including our legislators, is that we are a bit fragmented, and it's okay to be different, and it's okay to have differing points of view behind the closed doors, but we have to come forward with one voice and make sure that people understand that aquaculture as a system is incredibly important for food security and for the economic engine for the state of Hawaii. We have that opportunity, and HAAA wants to be the catalyst to bring that forward. So we've had a recent change within our board of directors. We are super excited about this board, at least I am. These are the best bosses that a person could ever have. So we have a new president with Anthony Mao, Vice President Tony Ostrowski, Dave Anderson over on Kauai as secretary. Fred Metcher continues as treasurer. Ron has taken a step into the president emeritus position. Ron is on the call, so big mahalos to Ron for everything that he has done and continues to do for HAAA. In addition to that, we have some returning as well as new directors. So Maria Hawes, Dustin Moss, and Dave Cohen are returning to the board. And Brenda Lima and Mika Brodsky are new to the board. Super excited. Brenda's on the call today, so great to have you here and supporting HAAA. I think we still have a few board seats open, so if anyone is interested in being part of the engine that's driving Hawaii aquaculture, please reach out to any of the folks on the board, but especially to either Anthony or Tony as president and VP. We'd love to have a conversation and have you consider joining us over here. So, as I shared, I mean, Hawaii is poised for growth within the aquaculture sector. Hawaii has been growing food from the water for centuries. So, this is not about starting something new. It's about honoring that legacy and making sure it thrives in a changing world. We have world-class research institutions, we have producers, and we know how to operate in some of the most challenging conditions anywhere, right? And so it is that cultural foundation and the understanding the value of working with the ocean, not against it. And so all the ingredients are here. The issue isn't potential, it's really the momentum. And that's why the now continues to matter. Our growth has been flat for too long. We'll talk about that in a second. Even as global demand for high quality, responsibly produced seafood keeps rising. And so Hawaii should be leading, not lagging. And if we don't address the bottlenecks around permitting, around capital, biosecurity, workforce development, we risk falling behind at a time when the state needs more food production and more resilient blue economy jobs. And this moment is an invitation to regroup, to listen to the industry and make smart, coordinated moves that unlock that responsible growth and put Hawaii aquaculture back on an upward trajectory. So this is the latest release of an aquaculture census from National Marine Fisheries, NOAA. The last one was in 2023, but in this latest release, it confirms that Hawaii's aquaculture sector generated a total of about $65 million for that reporting year. The data shows that the number of aquaculture operations in the state has held steady in the range of about 40 to 50 farms, suggesting that the change and lowering in the value is driven more by shifts in output, species mixed, or value per farm, rather than large expansion in the number of producers. And despite being a recognized innovation hub, Hawaii currently ranks outside the top tier of US states in terms of aquaculture production by value. And while some early analyses placed Hawaii as seventh in past years, more recent comparative data implies lower ranking as other states accelerate their growth. So, for example, the national survey indicates that the US aquaculture industry reached about 1.9 billion in total sales in 2023. And this gap between Hawaii's current performance and national leaders underscores the untapped potential for strategic growth, policy reform, and investment to elevate the state's position in the national aquaculture landscape. And so this chart shows Hawaii's aquaculture sales over the past decade. So we're rising just from under 60 million in 2013 to a peak of nearly 80 million in 2018, followed by a further high of just under 90 million, which is not on the chart, but in 2022, as reported by the Department of Ag and Biosecurity here in Hawaii. And that 2022 figure represents the highest value that we have seen here in Hawaii, largely driven by success in specialty areas like microalgae, in seed stock, and value-added products. However, the sharp decline to 65 million in 2023 signals a real structural challenge, and whether that's from cost pressures or regulatory delays, market shifts, or changes in how production is classified and reported, it's also a reminder that while Hawaii's sector can achieve exceptional highs, it remains highly concentrated and vulnerable to fluctuations in a few key segments. And when we compare the trajectory to national trends, the performance gap becomes even clearer. So over that past decade, US aquaculture grew nearly 40% in total sales value, while Hawaii's growth was just under 11%, less than one third of that national pace. And despite being home to some of the world-class innovation hubs and rich aquaculture heritage, Hawaii's industry has not scaled proportionately in a production or in its economic output. And that underperformance highlights our persistent challenges. Those high operational costs that we all know, a complex permitting environment, and limited infrastructure for commercial expansion. And at the same time, much of Hawaii's aquaculture value has historically depended on a small number of specialized sectors like that microalgae that may not reflect broad industry health or resilience. So the growing performance gap underscores the need for targeted investment, policy reform, and strategic collaboration to unlock Hawaii's full potential as a leader in sustainable aquaculture. And there are some great things that are happening to move in that direction. About 3 weeks ago, it was announced that UH had joined a consortium to strengthen US seafood supply. It was called the Cooperative Institute Fostering Aquaculture Research and Markets. The acronym is CFARM. It's a 5-year NOAA-funded institute designed to advance US marine aquaculture and strengthen seafood supply chains. So UNH, University of New Hampshire, was selected to host and lead this initiative, backed by an initial funding award of roughly 13.5. University of Hawaii, University of Miami, University of Southern Mississippi are all partnering institutions within CFARM. So we're super excited to see Hawaii included. I've worked with a lot of these institutions over my career, and they all have an amazing focus on aquaculture. So we're really excited to see what comes out of this initiative. The CFARM Award establishes essentially a national network of partners tasked with researching technological innovation, which is advancing engineering, AI optimization, and offshore farming systems, and supporting coastal communities. So boosting economic growth, domestic food security, and seafood market research. And as I've already shared, those things are an imperative for Hawaii to get back to its prominent position within the United States and grow our food supply here. I just added this slide it was not in last Thursday's presentation, but we are super excited to announce that Governor Green yesterday signed SB 2907, Act 186, laying the groundwork for cohesive management of Hawaii's blue economy. So it centralizes marine affairs oversight and formally designates the state as a hub for ocean innovation and stewardship. Our blue economy is defined by the sustainable use of ocean and aquatic resources to support economic growth and job creation, and in turn ensuring the preservation of our essential marine ecosystems. Hawaii already stands as a national leader driven by its unique position as the only island state in the Pacific and its long-standing cultural, economic, and scientific ties to the ocean. But SB 2907 declares the state as an ocean cluster and creates a new organizational framework for marine-related policy and coordination. It establishes the Ocean of Marine Affairs and a Marine Affairs Governing Board within HTDC, along with a Marine Affairs Coordinator position. I've seen these ocean clusters work and in other parts of the world, in areas like Iceland, in Norway, in San Diego, uh, and they are a huge economic driver. They help to coordinate and collate industries, not just aquaculture, but others within the blue economy, to come up with a cohesive strategic plan. So I foresee HAAA working very closely with the Marine Affairs Office and with the Marine Affairs Coordinator in order to ensure that aquaculture is front and center to their strategic development and direction. And I'm really excited to be part of that. So congratulations to both the folks that are on the call that are part of the Sea Farm project and part of the Hawaii Ocean Cluster. And we look forward to working closely with you. So, how did we get to this point? And where are we going from here? It has been probably 10 to 15 years that Hawaii, different organizations within the state, have been commissioning projects and surveys to hear from the aquaculture industry as to what we need to grow. And although those surveys have been quite effective, uh, I think one of the missings that we've had is the connection and that facilitator to bring what we learned from these surveys and put it into action and into an operational form. And so this past year, the Hawaii Department of Ag and Biosecurity commissioned us at HAAA to do a survey to bring that together. They basically modeled what they wanted from us off of what they called the Go Big campaign. So in 2023, the HDAB detailed Go Big for Agriculture framework in their official annual report. So Go Big stands for B, building economic resilience, I, investing in infrastructure, and G, growing the scale and economic impact of local food production. The focus was primarily on terrestrial farms, both for cattle and other terrestrial animals, as well as fruits and vegetables and other farms. The key priorities of the Go Big strategy were to invest in agriculture's development. So focusing on mitigating rising land and water costs, resolving labor shortages, and expanding workforce housing. They wanted to grow agriculture's scale and expand its operational efficiency, and for short and long-term action, ensuring that something is happening which balances that immediate need that we all have with a systemic vision to navigate industry challenges like biosecurity and natural disasters. And we in aquaculture feel many of the same challenges in our work. And so Chair Hurd and the team at HDAB really wanted to put together something that they could make actionable. And for those of you that were on a brown bag session with me back in November, you heard me talk about this survey. And here was the slide I put up. Here comes another survey. And we really wanted to ensure that the survey that we put out was something that wasn't just a repeat of what has happened in the past. And so when we started to put together the questions that were involved in our survey, one of the things that we did was go back almost 10 years and put together an overview and summary of what has happened. What have we heard from other organizations, and where have those surveys ended up in terms of moving Hawaii's aquaculture sector forward. So with the survey that we have done, we have put together not just a survey itself, but we've done that summary of all those different surveys that have come in the past. When you click on our survey link, which is in the chat box within this webinar, it's also right here in front of you. The survey is now currently live. And in addition, it is being distributed through several of the organizations that I'm sure we all belong to listservs to around Hawaii and our community. And so I apologize, but you are most likely going to see this link multiple times within your inbox from different organizations. Please click on it and do the survey. We've tried to break the survey down to where if you are a producer, it takes you to a certain set of questions. If not, you can skip forward to other questions within the survey, but we really want to talk to everyone. The survey is anonymous, and so we will be taking all the results, putting them together in a collated form and using them in our report that we send to HDAB, along with using within HAAA to develop our 3-year strategic priority. However, even though it is anonymous, at the end of the survey, there is a spot for you to put your name and your email address, because one of the values that we feel at HAAA we bring to this process is that we understand aquaculture, and we want to not only see the results that you share, but we want to be able to take those results and understanding the context, have a conversation about how you see us creating solutions to what you see as bottlenecks for moving the industry forward. The team that is working on this is myself and Gene Schneider. We are both on the call here today. So as I've shared, we would love to hear from you, not just in the survey, but longer term in a conversation that we can share with you. The next steps that we have, if we can ask you to complete the survey within the next couple of weeks, so by Friday, July 24th, Gene and I will reach out to those of you that are willing to help and have a one-on-one conversation about your responses. We hope a lot of you sign up. So please, let's talk story. Our industry really depends on it. We'll be convening in-person learning sessions on both Hawaii Island and Oahu on August 12th and 13th. We're still securing the location for those. They're going to be a 2-hour learning session where we'll share the initial findings of the survey with those that show up and get feedback, and hopefully that will continue to iterate upon a process that will be valuable for the industry overall. And then the final report will be submitted to HDAB on August 31st, and that will help to inform them for the next legislative session, but will also, in my opinion, act as a stronger catalyst to bring together the industry and the legislation through facilitation by HAAA. While I have your attention, I do want to talk about a couple of upcoming events. The first is the Hawaii Agriculture Conference, which will be held November 9th and 10th in Waikoloa on Hawaii Island at the Waikoloa Beach Marriott. aquaculture will be represented. It is currently not as strong as I would hope it to be, and I think in a lot of ways it exemplifies a bit of our fragmentation and our lack of coordination in driving the industry forward. But I'm hoping that with a stronger relationship with the conference committee and driving forward uh, that message, the continued message that aquaculture is agriculture, that we can be a bigger part of this conference. We're working on a side event with HAAA for both its members and prospective members. We've got some other events that we're working on, so hopefully we will see you all there. The second event is Aquaculture America. So the World Aquaculture Society holds a large Aquaculture America event every year. The last time this event was in Hawaii was in 2020, right as COVID was starting. And so we are honored to have anyone in the aquaculture industry coming to Hawaii and being part of this multi-day process and conference. HAAA is working as a co-host event for the Aquaculture America conference, and we're working with the conference organizers to do some fun things like local IA tours, farm tours, restaurant dine-arounds, side meetings, and other events. And so we want to put the best foot forward for Hawaii, both culturally and also technologically, and show that Hawaii aquaculture is something to be reckoned with. So anyone that wants to be part of that process, please reach out to me or any of our board of directors. And we want to see this state be recognized and really be seen as the next major gateway for the growth of U.S. aquaculture. So thank you. Yeah, just same amount of time as last Thursday. So I will stop sharing and see if anyone has any. Well, I'll turn over to Kai to moderate and see if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Dick. Yeah, great presentation, just like last time. Just so you know, I filled my survey out right after our last meeting, so I'm looking forward to speaking with you and Jean. Yeah, I encourage everybody else to as well. Jean, did you want to say anything?
Thanks, Kai. No, I think Dick covered it really well. Just wanted to recognize that Representative had to get off the call, but wanted to thank Representative Scott for attending Matayoshi. And then I also see Senator Gabbard's staffer, Meg, is on. So thanks for your support.
Yeah,
And
thank you all.
for those of you that weren't there or haven't seen the recording yet, Senator Wakai and Representative Tarnas were both on the Thursday call. Senator Wakai was his usual vocal self about some of his his opinion on the shortfalls of what has happened within the growth of Hawaii aquaculture and why that we're where we are. And he also expressed his unwavering dedication to the Hawaii aquaculture sector moving forward and really wants to be our champion. And so that was great to hear from him. I think I've heard from a lot of our legislative staff and supporters and representatives. And I think aquaculture is really at a place where people want to see it grow. They just need to figure out how. They need to figure out that path forward. and we need to be a better, more vocal partner in smoothing it out. Again, I said this at the beginning, we're not all going to be going in the same direction, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to end up in the same place at the end. And that is to be growing the aquaculture sector within the state with active farms, active local IA, active technology providers and service providers. I saw Ryan on here, active feed farm, feed producers. We need to be a better, more cohesive organization and entity here, and I think we're on the way.
Yep. Well said. Does anybody have any questions for Dick or Jean? Well, we are in the process of uploading last week's talk to YouTube and posting the link on our site. And right after this, we'll get on uploading this one too. But there's still some time for questions if anybody has.
Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to say mahalo for everyone taking the time to join us today. I know I've heard both, I see on the webinar attendees, and I've received a few emails from some folks that I haven't engaged with in the past, which is really exciting that people are seeing at least that we are reaching out. And so I really want to speak with you, the people I haven't been speaking to as we've been moving things forward. So I'm available if anyone wants to have a conversation to talk story with me. Please fill out the survey, put your name down, write in one of the little comment boxes that you want to have that conversation, and we're happy to do so. So on behalf of Gene and I and the HAAA group, mahalo to everyone.
Awesome. Well, I
Yep.
guess
Thank you,
then,
Kai, for organizing.
of course.
As always, great job, and we really appreciate it.
Awesome. Mahalo, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you.
Mahalo kai. Aloha, everyone.
Mahalo.
Thank you.